Attention passionate Buffalo, BILLSFANS. Latest news, something big is happening in the AFC East and it could change the game. We're talking about a direct impact on Buffalo Bills' path to another Super Bowl run, a power shift that could leave a division rival stumbling for years. We're bringing this to you firsthand. But before that, if you're a true Buffalo Bills fan, subscribe to the channel to strengthen this passion even more. Show that you're also part of this family. Let's help each other reach 1,000 subscribers. Share with your FRINDS and Buffalo, BILLSFANS. Let's get to the news now, folks. Hold on to your hats because we've got some wild rumors swirling around that might just shake up the entire AFC East. And honestly, the NFL landscape as a whole. It's all about Max Crosby, the unstoppable pass rusher from the Las Vegas Raiders. Rumors are pointing towards a potential blockbuster trade that could see Crosby in a Bills uniform. And let me tell you, if this happens, it's going to be a game changer for Buffalo. We're talking about a move that could turn the Bills' defense from pretty good into downright elite, and that's not an exaggeration. Right now, the Raiders are sitting at 3-9 with a cap hit of about $12 million. They're in full rebuild mode, and it's no secret they're looking to shake things up, especially on the defensive line. According to Diana Rossini, the Raiders are open to trading Crosby, who's been a cornerstone for their defense, potentially in exchange for a first-round pick in 2026. That's a bold move, but it's also a strategic one if you consider their long-term plan. They're focusing on rebuilding with youth on defense, especially along the defensive line, which has been a weak spot for them this season. And Crosby, with his relentless motor and knack for getting to the quarterback, is exactly the type of player they want to build around moving forward. Now, let's talk about what Crosby brings to the table, because this isn't just some run-of-the-mill edge rusher. Drafted in 2019, Crosby has established himself as one of the NFL's most feared pass rushers. Over his career, he's accumulated over 320 tackles and an impressive 64 sacks. His PFF grade, which consistently hovers around a stellar 91, speaks volumes about his impact on the field. He's been selected to the Pro Bowl 4 times, and for good reason. In 2025, he's been a force, playing 12 games so far with 39 solo tackles, 24 assists, and 9 sacks, along with a handful of other game-changing plays like an interception returned for 22 yards and 3 forced fumbles. His pressure rate hovers around 19%, and he's constantly disrupting the pocket, making life miserable for quarterbacks. That kind of production isn't just good, it's elite. Think about what Crosby's presence could do for the Bills. Currently, Buffalo's pass rush has been somewhat underwhelming, especially when it comes to sacks and pressures. The Bills are allowing around 4 points per game, which isn't terrible, but for a team with Super Bowl aspirations, you want to be better. Adding Crosby could immediately increase their pressure rate by around 21%, which would translate into roughly 11 more sacks this season, taking their total from about 38 to nearly 49. That kind of leap would turn their defense into a nightmare for any opposing offense. And it's not just about sacks. Crosby's relentless approach and high pressure rate mean more turnovers, more disruption, and less time for opposing quarterbacks to set up. Now, why would the Raiders be so willing to part ways with Crosby? Well, aside from the cap hit of around $28 million, an amount that's tough to justify for a team in full rebuild, they're prioritizing their quarterback and offensive line right now. They're focusing on younger players and draft picks to build a sustainable team. The Raiders are also aware that their defense is giving up an average of 4 points per game, and they're trying to reset the roster post-deadline to focus on long-term growth. Trading Crosby would be a bold move, but one that makes sense if they're looking to stockpile draft capital and focus on their rebuilding process. For the Bills, this potential trade could be a massive upgrade. Imagine Crosby alongside Ed Oliver, who's had a pretty solid season with a PFF grade of 83.4. Together, these two could form a dominant duo that would make life miserable for any offensive line. Crosby's ability to generate double teams and pressure the quarterback would free up Oliver and others to make plays, creating a domino effect that elevates the entire defense. The stats show that Crosby's addition would lead to an increase of approximately 6 sacks, pushing the team from 38 to 49, and an overall boost in pressures by around 30. This would make the Bills' defense one of the most feared units in the league, especially in close games where every play counts. But it's not just about sacks and pressures. The impact extends to game-winning scenarios and the Bills' chances of reaching the Super Bowl. With Crosby on the team, the Bills' win probability in tight games could jump by as much as 16%, especially against tough opponents like the Patriots or in playoff battles. His elite bull rush, which boasts a win rate of around 68%, would put even the best offensive tackles on notice. And considering the Bills' current odds of winning the Super Bowl are around plus 1,200, a move like this could see those odds shorten significantly, potentially down to plus 700 or even better, if Crosby helps transform the defense into a juggernaut capable of consistently shutting down opponents. Now, let's talk about how this move fits into the bigger picture. The Bills have been solid this season at 9-3, but their pass rush has been somewhat inconsistent. Adding Crosby would not only improve their immediate chances, but also send a message to the league that Buffalo is all in on a Super Bowl run. They've already got a talented offense led by Josh Allen, who's been putting up big numbers and making highlight reel plays, but the defense needs that extra boost. The addition of Crosby would create mismatches against opposing offenses, especially when it comes to protecting leads in late-game situations or mounting comebacks. And let's not forget the broader AFC landscape. Other teams like the Browns and Ravens have been making strategic moves themselves, boosting their defenses with big-name players or draft capital. The Browns, for example, have benefited from a trade involving Garrett, which has elevated their sack totals and overall pressure rate. The AFC is fiercely competitive, but with Crosby, the Bills could gain a decisive edge, especially considering their ability to generate turnovers and pressure opposing quarterbacks. A stronger pass rush translates into more wins, more playoff appearances, and ultimately, a shot at that elusive Super Bowl. Of course, all of this is speculation for now, but the signs point towards a real possibility. The Raiders are clearly in a rebuild, and Crosby's value on the field is undeniable. For the Bills, acquiring a player of his caliber could be the final piece they need to elevate their defense from good to legendary. With his track record, over 64 sacks in just a few seasons, there's no denying that Crosby is an impact player who can change the course of a game with a single play. So Bills fans, imagine a defense where Crosby is rushing the quarterback, Oliver is anchoring the line, and the entire unit is swarming with relentless energy. That would be a nightmare for any offense, especially in the playoffs. The Bills have the talent, and with the right additions, they could become a true Super Bowl contender. It's a bold move, but if the rumors are true and this trade goes down, you better believe the Bills will be a force to be reckoned with in 2025 and beyond. Pause here just for a second. If you want the YOUTUBE algorithm to keep recommending the latest Buffalo Bills news to you, it's super important that you leave a like on this video. Go ahead, it's quick and it makes a big difference. Thank you. Now let us continue with the big reveal. Now I want to hear from you, Bills Mafia. What do you think about the possibility of Max Crosby donning those red, white, and blue colors? Is this the piece that takes the Bills over the top, or do you think it's too risky? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Your opinion matters so much to us and to the Bills. And don't forget, I'll be back soon with more updates and analysis, so stay tuned, because the Bills' offseason could be shaping up to be one of the most exciting in recent memory. With Crosby, this team could truly be on the verge of something special. Keep the faith, and let's keep the Bills' spirit alive as we wait for what's next.